Hey everyone, today I want to make a video. It's going to be about rules of evidence that the VA uses to make disability claim decisions. But really I'm doing this video to motivate you to get up off your butt and get yourself a disability rating. I know it seems hard, especially if you've put in a few claims, maybe you've won a few, maybe you've lost a few, maybe you're frustrated. But folks, I'm here to tell you that getting a VA disability rating, while it's really no, cakewalk, if you're looking at the manual and you're looking at what like the VA raters are using to make decisions, it's really not that complicated. And I essentially just want to go over a video on some rules of evidence that I've found in the M21-1 adjudication manual that I think will interest you. It is boring stuff, but and I'll keep this video really short. This video, or this information I'm going to give you, should show you that the standard for proving a disability claim is actually really low. If you just follow the systems that you see on either my channel or other people's channels, or just doing some Google research on different websites or blogs, I think you'll agree with me that it's actually pretty easy. And you could change your life with the amount of money that the VA can provide you, assuming that you deserve the ratings that get you those payments. But I'm going to go over some of the standards of evidence that the VA uses, and the one that I'm going to go over today is just the reasonable doubt rule. And right here in M21-1, it says the reasonable doubt rule means that the evidence provided by the claimant, must only persuade the decision maker that each factual matter is at least as likely as not. That's a really low standard when you start thinking about evidence, right? Like, it is a really low standard. It is defined in M21-1 and consistently applied policy of the VA to administer the law under a broad interpretation, consistent, however, with the facts shown in every case. When, after careful consideration of all the procurable and assembled data, a reasonable doubt arises regarding service origin, the degree of the disability, or any other point, such doubt will be resolved in favor of the claimant. So the VA, although a lot of times we feel is not on our side, and yes, they do make the process difficult, as long as you're meeting the standard in providing the evidence that shows that you do have a service-connected disability, and the symptoms that you have meet whatever criteria, it's really the evidence that you need is just as likely, at least as likely as not, so long as whatever facts you're throwing their way, whatever evidence you're throwing their way, and there are some other rules of that evidence, as long as it's articulable and it makes sense, and if you're using a doctor and a doctor knows what what you have and what you need or what the VA is looking for, you really should be able to do this without a lot of uncertainty. And I think a lot of us, or at least when I first started submitting these claims, I was throwing spaghetti on a wall. I didn't know exactly what the VA needed. It did take me some time. It took me years to get where I am today. But I'm here to tell you, it's possible. And if you're not doing this because of how hard it is, you need to readjust and come up with a strategy. This is just a short video, and it's really just about that reasonable doubt rule. There's a lot of other standards of evidentiary proof that the VA uses, but I can tell you right now, the standard is low. It's much less than what you'd find in a regular court. You really just have to prove that it's more likely or less, as likely, at least as likely as not. So it's equal, it's split. You're not going to find that in any other system. So do yourself a favor, come up with a strategy and put it into play. If you have questions about what your strategy should look like, throw them in the comments below. I'll try and structure some videos around that, and I'll respond to comments as well as much as I can to try and help you out with that. I think that anyone that has a disability that you feel deep down inside that it should be connected to your service can easily be connected with just the right strategy and the right evidence. So with that being said, throw your comments down below. Let me see if I can help you out. Let's get that rating that you deserve.